Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Josie's Point of View, where we focus on human interest stories from the Carolinas and beyond. Today's Saturday, and it's July the 11th, 2026. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new to my channel, I want to thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you find the information here to be informative. And if you're a returning viewer, by all means, thank you for coming back. I always say the tide changes so frequently here on these YouTube streets that you always have to acknowledge where your support comes from. And I want you to know I sincerely thank you for your support. So feel free to like and to share this video, and don't forget to subscribe. Well, it's been several weeks since my last video, and that's because I had to take some time off to address a pressing family issue. I'll share the details in an upcoming video because sometimes sharing a personal story might be beneficial to someone who's going through a family crisis. But for now, it's back to work and trying to pick up from where we left off. And our story today is coming out of Fort Bragg here in North Carolina. Take a look at the headline, and it reads, "Help is needed to find a missing Fort Bragg soldier." I'll provide you with a summary here, and I'll identify some of my sources for you in the description box. Now, a few days ago, I saw a Facebook post from a mother who was desperately trying to locate her missing son, who just happens to be a Fort Bragg soldier. She was pleading with the community to help to share her post and to assist her in her search. And there was a certain feeling of urgency in her message. The questions that came to my mind were, how come the story is not getting more traction in our local area? And how come there's not been a word from Fort Bragg? But thanks to the persistence of that mother, others are now beginning to pay attention, and some of the major news sources, as well as the Army CID, are now beginning to share the story as well. And that missing person is 25-year-old Savion Anderson, a soldier assigned to the 3rd Sustainment Command here at Fort Bragg. Now he resides off post in the city of Fayetteville, and according to his mother, he has been missing since June the 29th. So let's review what got us to this point. And this is based on information extracted from various news sources. And because it's all third-party information, I have to say allegedly to everything that I'm sharing. Now, Specialist Anderson was married this past December, and he and his wife are expecting their first child in August. According to reports, there apparently had been some type of domestic incident for which the authorities had gotten involved. Now, this was earlier this year, and as a result, a restraining order had been granted. Now, according to his mom, the soldier and his wife had reconciled after that order had been in place. Now, 4 days before his disappearance, so we're now talking about June the 25th, he was arrested once again. This time he was arrested at the Comfort Inn here on Scarborough Road in Fayetteville and charged with trespassing and resisting arrest. Officers say he refused to leave the room after his payment had been declined for an additional night stay. And within the same time frame, we're talking about 2 days before his disappearance, he told his mom that his wife had asked him for a divorce, and that was the last time she had heard from him. Now, there seems to be a lot going on in this young soldier's life in a very, very short space of time, and it's questionable how much support he was really getting from the military, if any support at all. So I could really understand why his mom would be concerned. And here's a copy of that post, that Facebook post that the soldier's mother had shared. And I highlighted one particular area for you. She said, "We had hoped and prayed that he would return home within a few days, but unfortunately that has not happened. After continued communication with military police and its sergeants, a missing person report has been filed, and we're now asking for the public's help while we continue to pray for his safe return." Now, the soldier's mother, in her social media post, she shared the actions she and her family had taken once they were notified by Fort Bragg authorities. Now, she said it was the command in a text sent her a message asking if she had seen her son because he did not show up for formation. The mother said that she, along with other family members, traveled from their hometown in Virginia. They traveled to Fayetteville to check out his apartment. They checked in his apartment, but no one answered at the door. They then contacted the local police and requested a welfare check, and it appears that the police did indeed enter the apartment, but he was not there. We also learned that Fort Bragg had listed him as AWOL, or absence without leave, on July the 1st, and sometime during that period, a missing person report had been generated. Specialist Anderson is described as an African American male, approximately 5 feet 10 inches tall and weighing approximately 270 pounds. Family members say he has a chipped front tooth, he has a scar on his left arm, and he has several tattoos, to include one that shows his wife's name, which is Jasmine. Now, the Army CID, or the Army Criminal Investigation Division, they are now on board, and they have also issued a missing person alert. And here is the alert. And I wanted to focus specifically on the section that speaks about his description. It says Specialist Anderson is an active duty service member who's approximately 5 feet 10 inches and 260 pounds. Specialist Anderson has a chipped front tooth, scar on his left arm, tattoos behind both ear, and a tattoo on his upper left arm. And again, this is the official missing person alert from the Army Criminal Investigation Division. So it's been just about 2 weeks since the family last heard from Specialist Anderson, and of course there's great concern, and they're looking at Fort Bragg authorities for answers, and Fort Bragg, in response to questions posed by one of the media, local media, they did issue a statement saying that they're working in coordination with law enforcement agencies, civilian law enforcement agencies, I should say, and the Department of the Army CID to locate Specialist Anderson and ensure his safe return. And in the meantime, a community waits with anticipation. People just don't vanish. So we need to find him and bring him home safely. It should be known that we as a community stand with this family, and we're offering prayers for a positive outcome to this very serious situation. And that's all I have for you right now, but feel free to leave me a comment below and let me know what you think about this video. And by all means, feel free to like it and to share it. And if you haven't done so already, I want to invite you to subscribe to my channel by clicking on that red subscribe button. It's on the bottom right hand corner of your screen. And if you click on the bell that looks like just like this one, that's the notification bell. If you click on that notification bell, you'll be the first to know whenever a new video is uploaded. I thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.